What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Prop Wiz. I'm your host, The Wiz. Today, I'm showing off a package that came in the mail around Christmas time. This is something a little bit different than what I've been showing off. Everything that I've shown on here so far has either been sci-fi related, comic book related, comic book movie, something of that sort, right? This piece right here still fits into the category of a pop culture movie, definitely probably a pop culture icon, an icon in general. I thought it was fitting to feature it on the show. Of course, I bought it, so of course I want to share it with you guys. Now, one of the awesome things on this, I just reviewed the 1/4 scale, the premium statue of Christopher Reeve's Superman that Sideshow built. In fact, I thought I had room for him elsewhere in the house. I don't. He's still sitting on the other side of this box, which is awesome because that gives us a chance to also compare this statue with that one. Anyway, if you haven't figured out, haven't read the front of the box, or maybe the front of the box is out of focus and you can't read it, this is the Bruce Lee 1/4 scale collectible statue by Blitzway. Now, I don't know if this makes this more special or not, but I got this directly off brucelee.com. That's the website that's hosted by his daughter, by his foundation. In general, I don't know if that means anything to anybody else. For some reason, it makes me feel cooler. One cool thing that did come out of buying it off the Bruce Lee website was the price. I've been eyeing this bad boy for a good minute. Real huge Bruce Lee fan. I'm probably nothing special. There's probably millions of Bruce Lee fans out there. Of course, the longevity of his legacy, I think, is proof of that. So I think I had initially seen this on maybe Sideshow, seen it on the internet in general. In fact, I had seen it on the brucelee.com website before. Sometime right before Christmas, I think the end of November maybe, I started seeing the price go down. I think it went down from $600 was the original price to $500, which sounded phenomenal, especially for a 1/4 scale statue. Again, this is something I usually don't collect. Very, very specific to comic books. There's just certain kind of movies that I collect, but I love all of this stuff, right? The only reason I'm specific with my collection is really because of room. Just start running out of room in the house, so you got to be more selective on what statues I buy and don't buy. One of the easy ways for me to kind of simplify that is just pick certain categories and just stick to that, right? If I collected everything that I love, then my house would be packed with stuff, which is a crazy statement because my house is packed with stuff. In November, they end up putting this thing on sale for under $300. It was $299. That's more than half of what it cost initially. Probably more than half of what you can get now. The Bruce Lee website still have advertisements going out there saying that it's on sale, but when you click on the link, the item is no longer available. With that being said, if you are a fan of this, I would keep checking with the Bruce Lee site. If they do get any more, rest assured that it'll be that same good price, at least for now. But anyway, that's it. We're gonna dig in. Just to jump in, it's cool. You got the little Bruce Lee writing logo in the front, got the Chinese writing and telling us what it is. So of course, with a piece this big, I mean, you're just blown away when it's sitting on your porch. The jokers didn't even ask for a signature. They just left it on the porch. Come on, y'all. With that being said, when I opened the door, man, I was blown away just by the size. I mean, this thing is massive so far. But anyway, enough talking. Let's dive in, man. Let's get this thing open. These box openings be so dramatic sometimes. It's like, yo, I'm opening the box. But you know there's going to be a box inside the box. So, okay, y'all. Well, what I will say, comparing this to the Christopher Reeve Superman statue that I opened last week, a couple weeks ago, and it is still in the box, but man, this box is a good 3 or 4 times heavier than that Superman statue. Look, and weight isn't everything, but it always feels good to know that you spent a lot of money on something, and it just makes it feel like it's worth a little bit, you know, something if it's got a little weight on it, right? Carry your weight in gold. That's a random statement that probably don't even fit in. Anyway, man, the box art, beautiful. It looked like they went with a watercolor style image on the front. It's cool, and I can see why they did it. You know, basically they took a photograph of Bruce Lee and probably just photoshopped it. Again, I'm not a big box person. The box is gonna go in storage somewhere. But if I was the one designing this box, and I'm not, I probably would have just used the real image of Bruce Lee. But the rest of it, man, I think looks phenomenal. It looks cool. It looks like it's got like a wooden gradient or texturing on the rest of the box. Yeah, so it's designed to look like the gold is carved in some wood. The back of the statue just has all the creators and all the people that worked on this product. So that's cool. There is a warning on here. Hey, and this is for age 15 and up. It's an adult collectible, not a toy. Well, welcome to my household. We don't call our toys toys here. We call them collectibles. Anyway, man, the box is dope, man. So, hey, about to take dive number 2. Okay, y'all. Man, this thing is packaged up very, very well, at least on first appearance. I am a little bit nervous because I see a fingertip actually poking through the styrofoam. Man, it's crazy. Just one little fingernail sticking out of the top. I'm hoping that doesn't mean something is broken. A finger seems like something that would be easy to break. But anyway, it's cool. They got these little Velcro straps holding it in. I say that's cool, man, because that's something I might be able to use and repurpose for something else in the studio. Does have a little, look like direction book taped to the top with an assembly of just 2 steps, which lets us know this is going to be easy to put together, hopefully. All right, here we go. Ready to take the top off of this bad boy. Let's see what we got. Okay, y'all. The fingertip did break off. So the fingertip is stuck in the top of the box. And as I removed it, I can clearly see that something broke off. So that's disappointing. And again, one thing that sucks is, again, it's not on the website. So can I turn this in for another one? More than likely not. So we might go with the glue. We will see. It looks like a clean break. So I'm gonna see if it's something I can glue together, and we'll see. Not feeling as bad because, again, this thing was under $300. That doesn't negate, you know, that it should be packaged right and sent right, of course. But man, these kind of things happen, and you're faced with the option. I mean, either I keep it and try to fix it, or I send it back. And like I said, in this case, I send it back. I might not get another one. It might just give me my money back. Don't want my money back. I want this. Okay, let's get this bad boy out the box. Man, I think there's more broken. There might be more broken than what we know. I just tried to lift up the head, and I can feel the head moving. And I'm looking at the direction, and the head does not disconnect, man. This might not be so good, y'all. All right, let's see. Okay, we might actually be okay. I'm putting them back in the box because the smart thing to do, of course, would be to pull out the base first. The whole upper chest is moving. So it looked like there might be a place where it connects under the tank top. So we might not be too bad, man. But we'll see. Okay, I can see where a little bit of the weight is coming from. Actually, probably a lot of the weight. Man, this little shishi dog or dragon, I'll look up and see what the technical name is. But man, this thing is heavy. This got some weight to it. All right, so, woo. And that thing is detailed as well. Looks very, very realistic. Look like it's made out of bronze. It's got the little green weathering. That's throughout the whole base. Okay. And the base is the rest of the weight. I guess I wasn't even thinking about the weight of the statue when I pulled them out earlier. I was just focusing on that head. But man, when I lifted both of these things out of the box, it's like, yeah, it's letting you know that this has some weight. Somehow, maybe because it's more concentrated, the little shishi dog thing definitely feels heavier, but we'll see. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to peek under his shirt to see what was moving. Yeah, okay. Bet. I do see seam lines that flow right up under the arms of the around the neck piece of the tank top where the whole sculpt is connected. So I guess the good thing about that, and as I said with the Superman, when I'm kind of new to this size statues, the Superman actually had his seam lines here. Uh, Obviously, this is a better technique where the whole top part looked like it was molded from here, and then connected and hidden by the actual outfit. So, and speaking of the outfit, let's just jump into the review, man. What we looking at? So obviously, it's a mixed media statue, meaning some of this stuff has been molded, some of it is statue material, and some of it is real chains. The chains look like they're real. And of course, fabric, right? He's wearing actual clothes. When I'm looking at anything that's been scaled down any kind of way, most of the stuff that I collect are 1/6 scale figures. Always like to look at the clothes to make sure everything looks scaled to the right size. You know, I know when I was growing up, when you would have things like this, the buttons would be just slightly larger. Like maybe they didn't have the technology or the know-how to make buttons smaller, seams smaller, things like that. So you would have these outfits and it just automatically make it look disproportionate. Just for having those buttons or zippers was a big deal. The zipper would be like way too big or something like that. In my opinion, that always made these kind of things, especially the 1/6 scale figures, it almost made them look like dolls, right? Like people that's not in our collecting culture will call it dolls anyway. But in my opinion, when things weren't scaled down right, is really what made those things look like dolls, right? So with that being said, man, Bruce Lee is beautiful, man. The clothes look real. Just looking at him in front of me, man, it looked like he was hit with the little shrink gun from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's corny, right? Cut that out. Dude, it just looks proportionate, man. Everything looks the right size. The nunchucks look like they got little dents in it, which gives it a realistic look. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be made out of wood. I'm assuming they are. It's got a wood look to it. The chains are dope. Just looking at it now, I know nowadays if you buy a pair of nunchucks, and yes, I'm one of the kind of individuals that buy nunchucks. I got a pair in the house. Again, the technology is probably different. So this is what 70s, 60s actually, right? That this movie was made. So you can see even the technology and the nunchucks was probably an older style. I would have to look at the movie closely and zoom in to see. But just off the jump, man, it looks very, very accurate. Wow. I don't even know why I started with the clothing, man. This head sculpt. Dude, the head sculpt is amazing. Dude, the eyes look real. Yeah, okay. So this is definitely blowing the Christopher Reeve statue out of the water, man. I'll put them side by side, but this is actually making Christopher Reeve look like a cartoon version or stylized version of Christopher Reeve. Like this right here looks like Bruce Lee. The eyes got that wet look to it that's giving it a realistic look. It's catching the light, so it's giving it life. You know, the eyes look real, basically. The eyebrows are sculpted. Hair is sculpted. I guess you can tell the hair is sculpted. It looks good. I mean, it's a statue, so of course it's sculpted. But man, the eyebrows look real. I can see little cuts in his skin. Man, little dents. Dude, on top of, I mean, this is past the actual paint, right? Like, I mean, I can see stubbles. Like some of the stuff, the coloring I can see is paint, but I can actually see the texture of his skin and his face. Dude, this looks like not only just Bruce Lee, man. Right from the jump, it just looks like a real person. And of course, it's Bruce, man. Wow. Dude, the muscles are the same. You can actually see the veins. The veins are slightly green. The veins are poking out, and it's also colored in a way that's very, very realistic, man. Dude, I can't go into more detail than that, man. It's going to be repetitive. Yo, the whole thing looks good. It's just on this one, he's missing a finger. I don't even know who to blame for this, man. Is it Blitzway who boxed it up, or is it the guys that sent it? I don't know. Let me while I'm talking about it, let me just make sure this finger lines up. Okay. So the finger lines up. The finger lines up perfectly. I'll be able to glue it on and it'll be seamless. So the verdict is we are going to keep it. I don't know if I was ever going to send it back. To be honest with you, I just did a part of this review talking about how good it looked before I even remembered that the finger was missing, right? So, dude, he looks awesome without the finger. Glue that bad boy on, he's going to be 100%. Again, for you guys out there, though, you just got to consider whether it's worth buying or not. Especially if you're buying that $600 price tag. You know what I'm saying? At $600, yo, he better show up. He better be perfect. Not just missing a finger. He better not be missing a fingernail. But anyway, man, all is good. All right, so shirt is fabric, pants is fabric, belts fabric, even the socks is fabric, and the shoes are molded, which is fine. I mean, what they're replicating, it looks cool, man. Them classic Bruce Lee shoes. I don't know if that's what they call it everywhere in the world, but in the black community, man, cats used to rock those shoes, man, and they were named Bruce Lee shoes. If you were wearing those, they were Bruce Lee shoes. And 9 times out of 10, somebody in your group went and got a pair right after watching one of these movies. If we saw them in the movie theater, we used to go to those theaters, man, especially in Atlanta, where they used to show old kung fu movies, man. So Bruce Lee definitely was some of the best of them. Okay, a little bit more about the base. The base looked like it has more of a concrete look, so that's cool. We got the shishi dog. I keep calling it the shishi dog. I lived in Japan for years. We used to call these things shishi dogs. I'm not sure if it's different in different Asian cultures, because I believe it's probably more of a dragon than a dog. So excuse me if I'm misstating what that is, but this little bronze thing right here, this actually looks like concrete, almost look like street material or stone material. That's probably more accurate. There are characters going all the way around. These are actually some of the poses. I don't know about all of them, but there's one pose in particular where Bruce Lee was holding, showing off his wings and flexing. I recognize that from this movie, which is Return of the Dragon, the one that was done in Italy, where he fought the great Chuck Norris and beat the hell out of Chuck Norris. The rest of the poses on here, I can't say that I recognize from any specific movie. Like some of the things I see, it seemed like he's done in other movies. So that's cool. So you got all these little Bruce Lee stances going all the way around, and they're all painted in like a metallic gold, having that same kind of bronze look. So again, man, just awesome statue. Real quick, we'll compare it to the other Christopher Reeve statue. Look, this box, man. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, man, but it's a stack of stuff back here. All from the Bruce Lee. So making the comparison, I can almost say that Christopher Reeve probably isn't 1/4 scale. And maybe I jumped and made that assumption because the actual title for that is a premium statue. But just looking at it, it looked like a 1/4 scale until you put it next to a 1/4 scale statue. So, of course, Chris doesn't seem too short. Mr. Reeves doesn't seem too short compared to Bruce Lee, but thinking that Bruce Lee is in a pose where he's kind of, kneeled down a little bit. So you got to think if he's standing straight up, he's going to be taller. And just bigger. His head, just proportionate wise, he's definitely bigger. And no, I'm not counting the base that he's standing on. Obviously, come on now. But again, man, I'm looking even the side view, right? I'm looking at these guys from behind the camera behind them, and Christopher Reeve, he looks good. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have any regret of buying him. But when I did post that video, man, if you read the comments, there was, 3 or 4 comments of people just dissing that statue. Some who hadn't had it, who just read other stuff or seen photos and knew it didn't look right. And then there was a couple of people that owned it who just felt like it could have been better, So with that being said, I'm not totally in that category. I'm just in that area where I kind of understand what they were saying. I understood it when they said it, but comparing it to another 1/4 scale statue, which I was real excited. Like I already knew Bruce Lee was on his way when I was reviewing the Superman. So I already kind of had in my mind I was going to be comparing it. Don't have a lot of 1/4 scale statues in my house to compare it to, and now I do. And yeah, man, Bruce Lee definitely as a statue is just far, far more superior than the Chris Reeve, depending on what you're looking at. That's I guess comparing it in terms of realism. Bruce Lee looks more real. I still like him. He looks more of a stylized, a slightly cartoon version of Christopher Reeve, which again is fine, man. Okay. Anyway, this isn't about Christopher Reeve. It's about the great Bruce Lee. So my final thoughts on this is that, he's definitely awesome. If you can find him for that $300 price, that $299 price or less, because if I'm not the only one who's had pieces broken, there's probably some of these out there that's probably similar. I will say, just looking at how it was stuck through the box, it does look like it might have been just some freak accident, a one-of-a-kind accident that I was just, fortunate enough to experience. I say that because the statue was inside of a bag. I can see where that finger punched a hole through that bag and actually punched a hole all the way through the styrofoam. And dude, there's no place where that styrofoam is thin. It was probably about the size of this finger, which is a little under an inch, maybe an inch and a half. And it poked all the way through the bag, nicely, perfectly through the bag and through the styrofoam. It was just sticking out. So don't know if it was already broken or maybe it broke when I lifted the box out. I will say it came out real easy. Yeah, actually that might have been what happened. It probably broke when I lifted it up. So if I had probably stuck that finger in or secured that finger, I might have been able to get that box out. Now, if you're Blitzway watching this, that is in no way blaming myself, because it was y'all fault that the finger was sticking through the styrofoam to begin with. With that being said, man, super dope. Now, I already had trouble trying to figure out where I was going to put Superman. I've added another statue where I don't know where he's going to go. But, man, just a awesome statue, man. And super amped up, yo. Like, I'm literally about to put this bad boy next to the Superman up here on the shelf. Turn off the cameras, turn off the lights, and go check out a Bruce Lee movie. I've recently got hooked on Green Hornet episodes, man. You can find whole episodes on YouTube. I wish they sold it on Blu-ray, man. If somebody knows or hears that those come out, man, let me know. But, man, the Green Hornet with Bruce Lee as Kato is just dope, man. It was just a dope show. Like, I'm surprised that it got canceled. I think it got canceled after its first season. But anyway, just listening to Bruce Lee on there, and he didn't talk a lot, for obvious reasons. It was real documented how they, tried to hide his face. There wasn't a lot of people of color on TV. And Bruce Lee, as cool as we look at him, he fit in that category where he just didn't get the shine from the way America was at that time. With that being said, and even knowing that, there are a couple of episodes that, they kind of shine a light on them. They probably knew they were sitting on some dope talent, man. But real cool, real laid back dude, man. Had a cool way of talking in those movies, man. So anyway, enough about me babbling about that. Check it out. Again, man, if you can find a good price, I would think, man, if he comes intact, $600 is a good price. But again, we know that somewhere out there was $300. Just keep checking on brucelee.com and see if it becomes available. Okay, I think that's about it, man. I can literally go on and on about this. Look, let me know what you guys think, either what you saw in this video or if you just by chance own this statue. I would love to hear what you guys think about your statue. Has anybody else had any issues with things breaking? And just your overall feelings of the statue. Hey, and if you just want to leave a comment talking about Bruce Lee, down for that too. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please like the video, please subscribe, please share, please subscribe. I probably said that twice. Love you guys to death, man. I want to thank you to all those who have been following me. I think this is the first video of the new year. Looking forward to the future, man, and hope you guys are too. All right. In the meantime, I'll check you guys out later. All right.
Yo, whack cats wanna bounce, stop rapping and do it. Hip hop's mind, bloodline, blood fluid is flowing through it. Basic mathematics, either you're subtracting or adding to it. You sad as mumbling rap, auto-tune to some trap music that's useless as mucus is. Try rapping through it, take tablets of acid, your ass is absolutely stupid. The cash 22 is you can buy the Buick or the Lambo, but where's he look good in the Ford Fusion? I'm broke and being dope alone doesn't pay bills. But real sad, keep grinding cause maybe one day it will. So I pray that it will, knowing it takes some skills. I got the skill part down packed, got the passion that's real. I feel gifted with spitting infinite lyrics, lifting the spirits of critics, resisting the kids who listen